All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is the preview for the Arsenal versus Man United game, where we take Man United on in a New Year's Day clash. First and foremost, Happy New Year to you all. As I mentioned in my video for Arsenal's, excuse me, as I mentioned in my last video about Arsenal's team of the decade. Um, for me, I think it's. I'm not able to do Stel. I'm not able to do a preview with Stel like I normally would for these previews. Because normally I would do it, especially for the United game, I'd do a preview for this with him. But the main reason that that's not happening in this particular game is quite honestly, it's New Year's Eve and I've got stuff to do. And took much longer than I needed to say that all that. But anyway, so yeah, I've got stuff to do, and that's a lot of the reason why I'm pre-recording this. So hopefully this will drop at around 7 tonight, probably when you guys are in the midst of drinking. But yeah, I think obviously this is a big game coming on a big occasion. It's our first game of the year, first day of the year, and we need to set it off right. We need to put this year behind us. It's been a terrible 2019, and quite honestly, it's been a terrible decade for Arsenal Football Club. It's seen us go from a team that at least used to flirt with the idea of competing for a league to now not even competing for the top four. And that's pretty depressing things to think about when you think about Arsenal. But it's stuff that we need to accept. We're not the top four club that we used to be. And from our point of view, that's a pretty difficult pill to swallow. Having said all that, it also is what it is. We just have to accept it, move on, and start to rebuild. Our league campaign has to be a sort of thing where we have to say to ourselves, let's just forget about top four for a second and just try and get ourselves back on track so that by the time the Europa League kicks in, we may still have a route, a very, very long, very big route back to the Champions League. I think that's still a goal. I think, to be honest, that's probably one of Arteta's objectives that has been set for him to win that competition. Because even as bad as Emre was, he at least got to the final. And as bad as we all thought Wenger was, he got to the semi final. So if Arteta is this great Pep 2.0 that people seem to think he is, then we need to look to win that competition. But I listen. I'm not going to put any more pressure on him than he needs to be under. He's under a lot of pressure. The board have not done him any favors. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens in January because I know their initial intention wasn't to spend any money. Subsequent to how far we've fallen, um, that I would imagine that aim and that objective has now changed and has now adapted, and to the point now where we're kind of just doing what we're doing and just seeing where the chips may fall. I hate when we do stuff like that, but it kind of we are where we are, and we have to just be able to deal with it. This is a big game. United themselves, remember the United that not so long ago we were all taking the piss out of? Well, they're comfortably, and I do mean comfortably, ahead of us in the Premier League table. Just getting the Premier League table up as we speak, just so I can look at it. United are fifth, and all right, they're 5 points behind Chelsea, but at least they're in a position to chase Chelsea. Um, Hold on, sorry, am I reading the wrong points thing here? Hold on 1 second. No, they're 4 points behind Chelsea. I was reading the wrong thing, but yes, they're 4 points behind Chelsea, and we are a further 6 points. That's right, 6 points behind fifth place Man United. You know the person that where everyone's saying that Ollie should be fired. Well, Ollie's in touching distance of the Champions League. We ain't. We damn sure ain't. So yeah, it is what it is. We just have to just keep our head down and just try and chase. Even in vain, we have to try and chase. Newcastle are ahead of us. Oh my gosh. Sorry. When I see that, it's the second time I've seen that. I thought, Newcastle, come on, guys. I think from our perspective, all we can do is just try and win this game. They are the people ahead. They are the people in front of us. We have to play them. We have to win. It's as simple as that. We're at home, so it is a game that we can win, but it is also a game that we turn an otherwise crap Jesse Lingard into Cristiano Ronaldo, the Real Madrid version. So don't be. I wouldn't be surprised if he's moonwalking in the Emirates again. It is his dance floor, seemingly. We are really suffering. We're really hemorrhaging goals, and we need to plug that hemorrhage quickly. The one thing that I think everybody seems to think, and I would agree, is that there were a lot of encouraging signs there at Chelsea. I think some saw some encouraging signs at Bournemouth. I was one of those people. Um, but I definitely saw some encouraging signs at Chelsea. We were unlucky to lose that game. I don't care what anyone says. They'll say, oh, well, the second half, they dominated us. I thought the second half we were comfortable for large parts of it. And then just the last 10 minutes switched off. But for me, I thought we were relatively comfortable. I didn't mind that they were coming onto us. I think it was expected. To me, and this is where Arteta needs to improve, is what he does during the game. He kind of manages the game in a very similar style to, as far as I can tell, to Arsene Wenger. And there's not enough proactive reaction during the game. The one thing I'll give Emery, probably his strongest attribute, was the fact that during a game, if he could see that something wasn't working, he'd at least attempt to change it. Even though half the time it weren't necessarily the right change, but he'd attempt to change it. He wouldn't wait until the 70th, 80th minute before bringing on a change. It's like you bring on Pepe with 5 minutes to go. It's like, what do you want Pepe to do in 5 minutes? How bad could Pepe be in training that Reece Nelson, no disrespect, is getting ahead of him? And I thought Reece played a lot better against Chelsea. At least there was more effort there. I think the end product is still bad, but I thought that he was working very, very hard. But it's just, you look at that situation, you just think, surely Reece cannot be that much better than this guy in training. And I think training is important to a certain extent, but flip me. I don't want Pepe to miss out again. He needs to start playing football. And I'm hoping, and this is the game where he'll do that. I've made some changes, so I hope Arteta also makes some changes. But I've also made some changes with bearing in mind that we played a very short time ago. But also, we have a lot of injuries, so we just have to cope. I guess the thought process here being that obviously the next time Arsenal play will be my birthday. It'll be on the 6th of January. So I guess that keeping that in mind, what they'll probably do is that if they can play some of the players that haven't had rest, people like Saka, David Luiz, people like that, they can play them with the knowledge that in the next game they're likely to roll out the kids for Leeds anyway. So I can imagine people like Bolo will come in for that game. So yeah, it is what it is. Anyway, keeping all of that in mind, this is my 1 to 11 that I would have for the Chelsea game. And I'm hoping I'll be able to do this guy with you because I know I'm pre-recording this. But I'm hoping it still works. So bear with me. Let me click up out of there. Share screen. Okay. So this is my 1 to 11 for the United game. Now, right, as you can tell, so I've gone with Bernd Leno in goal. Leno will need to build some confidence. He obviously took a massive hit at the weekend. So you'll be able to see that better now. He took a massive weekend hit this weekend. There's not really a lot else he can do. It kind of is what it is. but I'm going to put Bert Leno in goal. To me, I'm going to go with. So I'm going to go Bert Leno in goal. Yeah, despite my reservations, he's still a decent enough keeper that he should be able to get past it. So I'll put Bert Leno in goal. I'm going to apologise to Saka, knowing that he's played a lot of football, and beg him to play one more in this position. Thought he worked hard without covering himself in an amazing amount of glory, but kind of did his thing. So yeah, I'm going to go with Saka. I'm going to just going to put that there just in case. It's wiped out my other bit now. I'm going to go with David Luiz. I thought he was excellent against Chelsea. I really did. I thought he was excellent. More of that, please. David Luiz in goal. And next time I'm going to go with Mustafi. Wasn't great towards the end, and I am aware that he could be concussed. So very similar to the right back situation. This is Mustafi stroke Mavropanos, depending on if Mavropanos, depending on if Mustafi is concussed. But yeah, I think if he ain't, then yeah, done it again. Yeah, if he ain't, then he plays. If he is, then Mavropanos steps in. He had a decent game up until he got sent off the last time he played United, Mavropanos. But I think we need to start seeing what this guy's about. And if he ain't about anything, then sell him. What's the point in taking up space when we actually need defenders? So yeah, Mavropanos for me to slot next to Luiz if Mustafi is concussed. Right back situation, I'm going with Hector Bellerin. Hector for me should be ready. I know that him and Martinelli were supposedly close to making the Chelsea game. So I'm hoping because they didn't make the Chelsea game, they're preparing for this game. If Bellerin isn't ready, then I'm going to have to ask Maitland-Niles to do one more job at right back. Defensive midfield, I'm going with Lucas Torreira, who's my man in the match against Chelsea. I thought he was excellent. Very unlucky to be on the losing team for all his hard work and everything. I'm going to ask him to do one more job before I give him some time and space and rest. Lucas Torreira slots in there. Next to Joe Willock. Yeah, this is where I start to refresh and stuff. So I'm going with Joe Willock in this. For me, I need a performance from Joe because I think he's started to slip. And I hope I get it in this game. I think a lot of people still have faith in him. Mine has taken a knock, I must admit. But I'm hoping this is the game to redeem himself. And I need a big performance from him. So Joe Willock would be who I'd go next to Torreira. Slightly above them, I'm going with Dani Ceballos. I'm giving Ceballos an hour. Harsh, because I do think Mesut played it very, very well against Chelsea. But I also know that Mesut Ozil is unlikely to give you two performances back-to-back like that. And I think in anticipation of that, then I'd probably go Ceballos. Now, the other sensible thing that people might suggest is, all right, well, why don't you slot Ceballos next to Lucas Torreira and then play Mesut Ozil just ahead of that? You could do. For me, I've gone with it. I've gone with it like this, knowing that I'm going to take Ceballos off after an hour and then put Mesut Ozil on anyway. So this is really the way I'd play it. Martinelli, I think we've missed this kid badly, and I can't wait to get him back into the team. So I stick Martinelli out left. Up top, on the right, Pepe. I don't want to see no bullshit excuses. Pepe needs to be on the right-hand side immediately. And then up top, I'm going with Lacazette. That's right, not Aubameyang. I'm going with Lacazette. I'm taking Aubameyang just out of the firing line. He's played a lot of games, apart from anything. And also, I think with all this kind of speculation, it might just be sensible to just take Aubameyang out of the limelight and put Lacazette in there. So that's why I've gone with Lacazette. And I think Lacazette needs himself a confidence booster. Maybe not having Aubameyang making his sort of runs, although he might be distracted by Martinelli's runs, might help him. So yeah, I'm going to go with Lacazette up top. This will be a difficult game, and there's no doubt about it. Um, we've not had great results against United, home or away, recently, no matter how bad we've been or they've been. Um, I still back us to beat them because I think we needed to be, in my view, we needed to be both Chelsea and United to have any hope of top four. Um, but I think Arsenal can beat them, and I back them to do so. Reluctantly, I'm going to go with 2-1. You guys let me know what you think. Please do leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, I cannot emphasize this enough. For one last time in 2019, please crush, please destroy, please drop kick the shit out of that like button. You know I appreciate it when you guys do that. Absolutely drive those likes through the roof. All right, guys, I am out of here. I'm about to go and enjoy the rest of my New Year's Eve. Please, once again, have an absolutely happy New Year. Genuinely, go and enjoy yourself. Go drink. But stay safe. And I will see you again tomorrow. New Year's Eve, probably a little hungover like you guys. All right, I'm out of here. Take care. Have a happy 2019. Take care. Bless. Peace. I'm out of here.